It has been 66 days since I started this 100-day art challenge, where I am making one painting per day, reimagining scenes from Arknights stories as movie frames. This is mostly just going to be about how it's been going from days 34 to 66, now that I am really in the thick of this challenge. If you want to see why I would do this to myself and how I started planning everything, you should watch the first video. So it's been 2 months since starting this challenge, and I actually thought this chunk of the challenge was not as bad as I thought it would be. On the art side, it has gone a bit harder since, in my endeavor to minimize repeating colors, lighting, and composition, there are the previous 33 pieces that I have already drawn. How many ways can I frame a character in the center of the image? And there are only so many ways that I know how to use red or yellow or blue before I run out and have to figure out new ways. Which is a good thing, since one of the personal reasons I enjoy doing daily challenges like these is to see where my limits and weak points are. And then after the challenge is over, I can address those at a slower pace to make sure I learn them properly. It is also really funny to see how my own tastes and preferences are manifesting themselves here. I kind of hate using purple and green to draw, and I have done exactly one mainly purple piece, and only a couple of pieces that have a little purple in them, and 2 green pieces. So that's why I expected this part of the challenge to be harder, but on the bright side, this challenge has entered what I would consider to be Arknights' golden age of self-contained stories. A lot of the Year 1 events had the tall task of trying to flesh out all the different settings in the world while also introducing the large cast of characters that was available on the game's launch. But now we've moved past that, and the stories can be more focused on a small group of characters. These stories are also the starting point for several of the larger arcs that the game follows, so getting to this point does make me excited to keep drawing and get to the later stories. Maria Nerl leads to Nearlight, Manfield's Break leads to Dorothy's Vision, and of course, Undertides leads to Stultifera Novice. But they're not so far into the story that they really have to grapple with, the implications of the world they live on, so each story usually starts and ends pretty neatly. Basically, I have to work harder to come up with different ways to execute all the story moments, but the moments themselves are getting more interesting and fun to work with, so it kind of balances out. The story collection events are still kind of a pain to draw because there are 5 to 7 disparate mini-stories in one event, and obviously I only have 3 pieces per event. It's kind of a struggle to pick which 3 stories I'm going to draw, and I feel like I haven't really been able to achieve a sense of cohesion with any of them, except for Viglio, because that is all about Doctor's backstory, compared to stories where it's 3 different characters in 3 different places, all doing different things. The timeline has definitely gotten rougher as the end of the year approaches, with holiday season being in full swing now, and pressure for next year's conventions ramping up. Doing the daily drawing has mostly been fine, but when you add on designing merch and making prints, and then also learning more Blender stuff in preparation for a different project, because drawing so much fan art really makes me want to work on my original works, it kind of adds up. I do try to be efficient with the coloring and rendering as much as I can, but some days I just straight up don't have the time to make my vision happen, like on days 35, 40, 43, and 62. I definitely went out of scope and overestimated how much I could get done in 3 hours. There was a brief period where I was just unsatisfied with how the drawings were coming out. When I look at them now, I think they're actually fine, but in the moment, while I was drawing, it felt like I was being dragged on the ground. I felt like I should be doing more with the piece, with the shapes and stylization and color and light and rendering, and there is a lot of room for me to improve in those areas, but I had to take a step back and remind myself that, on average, the pieces I've done for this challenge are a lot higher in complexity than previous daily drawing challenges. I've been drawing multiple characters in focus with grounded background elements instead of simple gradients. and the frequent Blender practice is helping me learn to look at my references and figure out how I should approach modeling it in 3D. Speaking of Blender, I have built up a very strange library of 3D models that, to be honest, I don't know when I would ever use this in the future. Some of these are pretty specific to Arknights locations, and some of them are just cubes. I have been working my way through a Blender class, so maybe the results of that will show a bit in the future. But more importantly, I upgraded from Blender 2.9 to 4.5, and already there's so many more options for just about everything, which has me excited to see what I can make with it. It was also here that I hit the 50 days mark, and it did really feel like an accomplishment to be halfway done. To be able to look back and see how much I did, and also to be able to clearly see just how much I have left. Also, it turns out, Fantasy in the Mirage did release this year because I am playing Aya 6 right now. I am very happy that they didn't delay the release to make room for the anniversary event, and really surprised that they translated the Aya 6 trailer at all. This has kind of ruined my schedule, I have to be honest. The time I spend drawing Day 72's piece is true, but it does not include the hour I spent playing Aya 6 in between drawing. There's just 34 days left in this challenge, probably even fewer by the time this is uploaded, and the time really has just been flying by. It doesn't feel like I drew that first piece with Granny and Carol in it that long ago, but now I have to scroll really far into my files to get to the current day's files. The end of the year is fast approaching as well, which means we are inching ever closer to Arknights' 6th anniversary and the end of this challenge. It also turns out I made a grave mistake and miscalculated when the challenge would end, because 100 days from October 8th is not January 16th, but January 15th. So, oops. Anyways, since I'm on the last stretch of this challenge now, I'm thinking about doing a Q&A video for these 100 days, so if you have any burning questions about my process or just want to know what my favorite Arknights events are, please leave a comment. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you at day 100.